the Bulldozer Matt Tremont, the 8-time Deathmatch Tournament winner, the former 2-time world champion, the owner of H2O Wrestling. And if there is one podcast to listen to, that is the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get ultraviolet, motherfuckers.
And good evening once again, fans. You're listening to the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. They're more than welcome to come on, too, anytime they want to come on.
Oh, man, those girls pop good like this.
All right. It's a budget thing. Let's see what he's up to.
Thank you, man, and thank you for giving me the time.
Tune in right now. And good evening, everyone. As I get set up here, you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast with my guest tonight, right now, Recon, as he will be entering this weekend the Titan Championship Wrestling presents Mount Olympus Rumble for the title is on the line. Are you set for that or what? I mean, it's like a huge spotlight for everybody. Like it's, everybody's going for that gold, and I know you're thirsty for it. So
you ain't kidding, man. You ain't kidding. That would be my. I've had a few titles. That would be my first main heavyweight championship. So I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm gunning for it. I mean, there's 39 other guys. Like this isn't just the usual 30, which is enough, but you got 40 guys total in this, and it's like the best of the best, some of the best guys on the East Coast. So this isn't a battle royal of a bunch of herbs. This is like top guys.
Yeah, I know. And a couple of guys we've seen on TV just recently, and they're making their local, recently on AEW Dark, which is awesome to get, to see our friends, get a little stride and see what they're doing, and we know that they're ready to jump in the ring too, again, come back and show us,
Exactly. And we got Casey Navarro and, Stephen Gibke, they're on AEW Dark. I mean, you kind of tell these guys are real straight up pros. Like the second you see them, real recognize it's real. So,
yeah, I remember Gibke from the early days of his career, so it's he deserved a time to shine, everybody gets the time to shine, and like Casey too as well, for the youngest kid on the scene,
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, that's you get your
but
run.
you know what? You never know where you'll end up next, and that's the calling,
Yeah. Any opportunity that presents itself is an opportunity for another opportunity and another to keep on going up. So you always got to be in it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure you would love to be on TV every day and perform and just fucking be like, yeah, I did it, for the fans.
That's everybody, man.
Not the money. Yeah, it's all about the money and all, but sometimes, really, it's just the wrestling is what you're after, Yeah,
exactly. On the biggest platform that you can do it on. That's really what it is. It's because TV, it's how you can. That's just how you push your brand, man. That's the best way to do it because you have TV. It's just more people see you, the bigger your own personal brand is. That's why everybody is gunning for those spots is for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, or being on a movie or something. I was just looking at the press. I was just reading an article. Leo Rush is now going to be in the Power Ranger movie.
Really?
Yes, the new one. And he just announced that MTV just picked him up for the challenge show. So he's going to be on that. That's pretty interesting.
No, that is. I think obviously not just for his talent, but I think his personality. His personality as a whole, just they want him for that too. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, it's about viewership and people want to tune in, and they know he's and this isn't an offense to him at all, but he's got a reputation as a hot shot. So, people want to watch that. And I don't hate on that at all, man. Do you get the money, get your spot, go for it.
I mean, hell, he's even an artist too, man. He has some cool rap songs. Don't get me wrong, man. He's got some cool tracks that are out there that he produces himself. You know, it's like, wow. It's like, come on, you know. Don't get that from a lot of guys in the business these days, you know.
No, you don't. You really
You
don't.
know.
That's some Renaissance man shit right there.
Yeah,
You know?
but man, so what do you look at? The whole card looks insane. I mean, top to bottom this weekend. It's
all any match on there, like whether it's the Rumble itself or any of the match, like title matches or just the matches that are on it, could be a show stealer. I mean, you do
a scaffold match, a scaffolding match.
I know,
man.
Like, who does that? Like, I've never seen one live personally, so like that's just in and of itself that's a draw as a scaffold match. Like,
I've seen that. I of course, death match. You know, I've seen a lot of that from Combat Zone Wrestling back in the day, and seen it actually a tournament of deaths. And yeah, it's insane. It's an insane structure. You know, the way that they set it up, and it's close to the ring. I'm sure it's just going to be right against the ring. You know, like
yeah, I'm sure. Hopefully they have that ambulance on. God forbid anything happen. Hopefully they have it right there because that's dangerous.
Yeah, that could be a scary scene too. We don't want another injury on the, another wrestler to be flown to the hospital. You know.
Oh God, yeah, no, I don't want that at all.
No. But you know what, Vinny, we know him from. I mean, he's a local guy that's deserved it when he got the Rumble. You know, when he won that Rumble, and he's stepping into the ring versus Whaling. You know, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think Vinny can die. I think he's one of those guys that's just like, how are you not dead yet? And he just won't die.
Mm-hmm.
So
no.
I don't know. I kind of have some money on him, honestly. Like, no offense to Waylon Cage at all, but Vinny is he's that guy that can just get it like that. So,
and have you wrestled him at all?
No, I haven't ever.
Really?
No, I just know like his reputation, and I've seen plenty of his matches in person. So that's what I mean. He could. He's that guy that like people will go, oh, just get his ass kicked and that's it. No, that's a guy who'll get his ass kicked and then pull out that win too.
So Vinny, if you're listening to this, open challenge anytime.
I'm with it. I take all comers. I don't care.
Yeah. There's so many guys on that roster that you could go right through, and you want to, it's like you have the potential, but Saturday night you're gonna prove yourself. It's who stands tall in the ring.
Exactly.
The last two guys in the ring. One by one they got to go over that rope. I mean, like the classic Rumbles. Battle Royals,
Yeah, this is like our version of the 1992 Royal Rumble where the title is up for grabs.
Mm-hmm.
So with Flair won, that's what I feel. This is kind of our version of that because most of the time, it's for a shot at the title. It's not the title itself. Mm-hmm. So this is what makes it special to me.
But you know what? I wish this was the double ring. I never got a chance. Next summer, the double ring comes back. I'm gonna go. I heard that. So those are cool events. Like they really are. Double rings together.
It was kind of a trip to be in it. I mean, I wasn't in the Rumble itself. I was in a match prior. But yes, you could see a guy's going from one, ring to the other, jumping over and everything. And it can get pretty, it could get pretty insane when it's got two rings because you just have that much more room to create chaos.
Also, you got to be careful with that, the gap right there because you could really twist your ankle or you could.
Hey, and you know what? It also for a Rumble, your feet touches the ground. Technically, you're out. I don't know if we're going to enforce that, but I would be the guy to enforce that.
Rick, let me ask you this: how many Rumbles have you been in your career? Oh my gosh,
I've been in a few, like 3, 4. Honestly, I feel the key to them is it doesn't really matter when you go in. it's obviously it's more if you last. It's endurance. You'd be surprised. Like a lot of people think that like, oh, you're just there. You can kind of just sit in a corner or whatever, but not if you're in there for a long time. Like
yeah,
that,
you gotta
it goes out, man. It really does. I mean, I've gone from being the first guy in a 30-man rumble to being in the last like 3.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it takes it out of you, even if you're conditioned for it. So you got 40 guys now, and you got some big boys are going to be in there. You know, you got Titan Killer, you got the Meadowlands Monster, you got a few big dudes in there that are gonna throw their weight around, and you got
Wrecking Ball.
Take them out. I mean, you got to think of like Big Show type. Get them out.
You got Wrecking Ball. You got Magic. You know.
I know. Any of those guys, yeah.
And anybody and everybody, you know. It's gonna be insane. It's just gonna be a cool rumble. I mean, rumble wise, you know, it's just gonna be great.
Yeah, it will. And I also feel that like it's not just gonna be a rumble too, because you know, Titan. There's gonna also be a lot of people that are gonna run into each other that don't like each other. That like they've wrestled each other in singles matches, or they have personal issues or heat or hatred with each other, and you're gonna run into each other in that rumble. And now you have gold on the line as well. Like there's like people are gonna go at each other. Like I tell you what, if I run into Blaze Haram in that, I'm gonna kill him, because you know you kick me in the dick with your hooked boot, man. And like he just keeps on screwing with me. So I mean, if he's listening to this, like you're gonna get fucked up, dude. Like straight up.
Yeah,
you come at me, you're fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, Rick's fucking thirsty. Like I said, you know, you're ready for it. It's gonna be. It's an adrenaline rush too. You got all those guys in the ring, you know, but then you gotta tag with the, you know, I'm gonna gang up on this guy with this guy. You know, you gotta play like the heel kind of. You know what I mean? You gotta reverse play along. You know.
Yeah, you have to. You can have loose alliances quickly, but like don't be true trusting of somebody, because you know they're just as likely to grab you by your tights and chuck you out as to help you, you know, survive.
So just link, you know, just grab the ropes whatever way you can. That's all. Just be creative. Creative.
Just don't go out. That's it. Don't go. I mean, you know, if one foot touches the ground, you're fine. If it's both, you're screwed. Think of Shawn, you know, Shawn Michaels, 1995 and 96 with the Rumbles. He almost went out several times, but he survived.
Yeah, or Kofi Kingston, you know, Kofi.
Well, yeah, of course.
He's technical. Yeah, chairs to ladders to tables to the desk. Oh my God, it's like you never know.
So the Rosebuds, remember the Rosebuds going around, and they caught him and threw him back in? Yeah. Hey, a random crowd of people. I'll do that.
All right. You know, hey, I'll help you out. Right? I got my back.
Sure. I'm with it. Thank you.
Oh man, I dropped the $100 bill on the ground. Hold on a minute.
Just hold on a second. Stay right there. Let me use your back. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Be like, yo, come here, Russell. Come here. What?
I'll hold you to that. I'll look for you too. So.
I'll be right there in front row watching you. I'm going to be recording it too. So you're going to be recording your action, and I'll send you your footage, of course. So like making those little. No problem.
That's always appreciated.
Yeah. So who trained you, Rick? Who was your trainer?
This guy, kind of an indie name. He's been around. Shockwave the Robot. If you heard of him, yeah, he's been around. He's done Mexico, Japan. He's been throughout the Northeast and everything. That's who trained me. He was. I have a love-hate relationship with that guy. Like I do have a lot of respect for him, but he's an odd bit of an odd character, and he's very strict when it comes to like when he came to training. Like if you did it exactly the way he wanted it done, you had to do it again and again and again. I mean, I got a very tight relationship with Advil, from those training sessions. I tell you what, but he built. I will say this: he's Shockwave the robot, but he built another machine. Mm-hmm. So I'll give him. I'll definitely have a debt of gratitude for that.
I'm reading my chat messages, and we have only one fan watching us right now. Paul the Insane is watching. Paul the Insane. Paul the Unknown fan. I go to the ring with him. I hang out with him at the shows. He's a good dude. He's watching. So yeah, Paul, you want to be? Yeah, you're going to the ring this time, Paul, not me. So, that's the dude from New York. All the way drives all the way up to the. That's awesome. That's dedication. That's dedication for a wrestling fan. You know,
like that is far, man. It comes all the way out there
from Poughkeepsie. Yeah. I know, all the way in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Wow, Poughkeepsie, all the way down there to like what, Central Jersey, South Jersey? Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a hand for that, for real. Yeah. Like that's thank you.
Yeah, and who buys his tickets for him? Hey, Dave. Yeah, no problem. Just a pickup ride.
The least we can do, man, for coming down that far.
Lord. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But the last show, his car almost died.
Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, I've had that before on the way to shows. I've had that leaving a show, running out of gas, and thankfully, like, it stopped right in front of a fan's house that went to the show. And was like, "Hey, you okay? You need gas?
Can I just jump in? Or can I just jump in your car with you? I need to get to the show right now." First, what was your first experience to wrestling as a kid growing up? Like going to a show live?
It was a little different for me because I didn't grow up in a house where wrestling was watched or appreciated. I started watching it when I was about 15 or 16 at a buddy's house. Mm-hmm. Like I knew what wrestling was, but I didn't watch it and I didn't understand it. And he turned on Monday Night Raw. I want to say it was in maybe 2006. And it ended up being John Cena and Jeff Hardy, if I remember, on Monday Night Raw. And I thought it was cool. I was like, that's kind of interesting. I casually watched it. And then I want to say it was about 2007 where I really started watching it. And it was when Edge was the World Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown and Undertaker was gunning for the title and he had La Familia around him and everything like that. And he had the whole program with Vicky as his wife and all that. And I don't know what it was. Like, I hated because, of course, you know, I'm not understanding kind of its work. I got it, but I didn't at the same time, you know. But I'm watching. I'm like, yo, Edge is such a bastard. I can't stand this guy. But I liked him at the same time. He was just so cool, you know. And then obviously I seen Undertaker, and I was like, holy shit, this guy is so. I couldn't like
his gimmick. I mean, his gimmick was like a real deal, like almost like a 24/7 thing, almost. You know, like
yes, yeah. Like, it was the presence. I still get anytime that you hear the gong, I still get the goosebumps. Like it doesn't matter how many times I hear it.
Actually, they just released a little documentary about Paul Bearer.
I already watched it.
It was pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, it was awesome. Good. It was really they were right. Like without Paul Bearer, Taker wouldn't have been the same. I don't think. So no, I've been pretty much watching through 30 Days of the Dead Man because, you know, I'm always been Taker has always been the for me
go-to guy. Yeah, the go-to guy
was always the GOAT to me. That's just personal opinion. Edge was pretty close as far as like a guy emulated. If you kind of like see like my style, you can kind of tell that I really followed Edge and was always a fan of him. But that was like what really got me into watching it was that program. And then it obviously was years later when I was able to find like a decent wrestling school because I did like the backyard thing like once or twice and I said, this shit sucks. This shit hurts. You know what I mean? But I'm like, oh, I figured I probably got to actually train to do it. You know, I found school, and that was it. And I started doing it, and I've been doing it for it's close to about 5 years at this point. Closing in on 5 years, I started training.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
January 2016 is when I started training. So the first year was mostly just training, a couple matches here and there against Shockwave. And then after that, he's like, there you go, kid, find your own bookings. I did.
Yep. And you made out good. And, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, getting that spot, you know, on a main event or just on a mid card or, you know, whatever it was back in the, you know, days.
It was just
a hustle.
Brother.
Yep, the hustle.
You know? Show, curtain jerker, but, you know, that still sets the tone for the show. So, I took every booking, every opportunity that was out there. And like you said, I tried to make, you know, I've been trying to hustle it and make that name, you know, get seen and everything like that, get the experience. And then obviously, you know, getting your name is also not just about your name being out there, but the quality of your name. You know, that was what I've really focused on the last couple of years was like, all right, let me give them the absolute best match they could possibly get out of me. And I've had some of the best matches, my absolute favorite matches over the last year. Even during COVID, I had some of my best matches this year, and everybody's like, oh, 2020 sucked. It did. It really
you know
did.
What? It did, but gave you a chance to get out there and wrestle.
Yeah, I had some of the best matches I've had. One of my last ones, this past weekend, as much as I hate him, as much as I hate Haram, I can't stand him. I hate that son of a bitch. But you know what? It's probably the best match I've had, like ever. Like that match, it was brutal. It was brutal. I mean, the guy ripped my inside of my mouth open. You know, I mean, I spit my own blood back at him. I can't stand him, but it was one of the best matches I ever had. Last month, Nikos Ricos, we beat the shit out of each other.
You did. That was a hell of a show.
There was no anyone that wants to say it was fake. It was not. We were marked up. Everything hurt. It was not. It was no joke. Like we were like,
and I'm as a fan, I was like, wow, this show sold out. Holy shit! Like everybody kept on coming. They just kept coming. Like that's good.
Oh, that show was awesome. It was really awesome. It was full. It was this. Like it was, we were all so like
wow,
oh yeah, we put this place out, like we really, really did, and the crowd was like, once they got going, they kept going all night, and I'm very, very happy, very blessed to be part of Titan because
now we can talk to each other in public too, which is awesome. Also, you know.
Yes, exactly. I know. Titan was just like it was. I'm so glad to be part of it and blessed because
I'm gonna be linking. I'm gonna be 2021. I'm gonna be sponsored. I'm gonna be working with them. You know, really want to get my brand out there.
They're great people.
They are awesome.
On top of not just good shows, but good people. Because like that's another thing a lot of people don't talk about is like being good people. Like Billy, Charles, you know, Chad from Standalone Wrestling. Like they're really good people. They are, and
they are. You know, they do what they. Where do you get the best talent? Like, come on, like
they really do. They pull in everybody that's good, and like
we got this guy, you know, from former wrestler Fatu. You know, we got one of the. It's gonna be insane to see him again. You know?
Oh, Alpha Junior, yeah. He's gonna hurt a lot of people. I'm waiting for it. I hope I cross paths with him though. I really do. Yeah. But no, it's the thing about Titan is like there's not a lot of wrestling going on right now. Like and this is coming from a wrestler. Like if you're on these shows, like you're blessed. You really should be thankful for them because there's not a lot of wrestling shows going on. Not a lot of good professional wrestling shows going on
Yeah.
right now. And Titan's one of them. They always deliver. They always do it right by the book. And listen, they you know what? COVID is a really shitty situation, but they make it work.
Also, H2O is really running a lot of good shows as well. You know, they're doing it too. So
yeah, no, that was one of the places I wanted to check out. Like, I mean, their talent is like fantastic, like top of the line talent. So that's the other thing is like there are places that are running safely, properly, the way they should be. I know Synergy was one of them. Monster Factory is another one. Like, I will say about like the majority of shows that are run in New Jersey are on point because, and I'm from New York, but I will say this, that New Jersey's got New York beat when it comes to running shows properly.
Yeah, you think about promotions that are top notch, like on TV, travel, Game Changer Wrestling, you know, like GCW.
Yeah, exactly.
My God, you know, even ICW, they're in Florida that no holds barred this weekend, you know, like my God,
that's rough. Like, cause like, I mean, you know, it's the type of wrestling that ICW is. Obviously, they do a lot of deathmatch stuff,
but
for them to keep it safe is like.
What do you think of the concept of that? Isn't that pretty cool? Like it's like
it is.
It's like a pit. They brought back like the old combat style. Yeah,
kind of like the Lion's Den, like Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock. I mean, I saw that. I was like, this is insane. And you know, I know everybody's like, oh, Rick Recon, he's the wrestler guy, he's the pretty boy. Well, the pretty boy is get in that cage and sort of fuck some people up, and they.
I mean, there's a wrestler, Nolan Ryan. I mean, there's that guy, Nolan Ryan. Man, look at that. He's a young guy. He's kicking ass. You know, there's some talent that people don't know, you know. Just like
getting out there. Yeah, that's all you got to do. You get out there, you get your name, you get that one opportunity and that one time to shine, and you deliver, and then it's there, and you take it and run with it.
Yeah. I mean, could you see yourself doing something like that for the hell of it?
I think so. For the right opponent, right? You know, money. Yeah, I do. I can see at least once cross it off. Kind of like, I did it off the bucket list. I did one. You know what I mean? And then say, yeah, I did it. I survived it, and I kicked ass. Sure, I can see myself.
And you look at guys who are doing it. Actually, who have not been signed, which I'm very shocked, like Dominic Greedy, you know?
Yeah. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of unsigned talent that I'm like, why are they not signed? Or I'm thinking
MMA or MMA or, you know, peak up.
Yeah. I think some of the guys, honestly, it's not of a case of if they're going to get signed, it's when. Because sometimes it really just comes down to, all right, does so-and-so promotion have a spot for that guy? Do they have a role for that guy right now? And sometimes they already have had that spot filled, or they're like, not yet. And then, believe me, if you're out there and on the radar, they'll contact you if they need you. Like, that's just how it is. Like, there's some guys that, like, they've waited forever to get that spot, but once they get it, they fit right into the role, and it's off to the races, you know?
Yeah, it's like the people that get signed on Impact, and, you know, like they're just there till they, you know, and then they go. Like, I'm just reading, like, they're releasing the Rascals, you know, they're getting released. Those three guys get released.
I figured those, like, I'm surprised because, like, you know, I mean, they could have been released for any number of reasons. I don't really want to like speculate on that, but like, honestly, I like they're the one thing I really enjoy about them is while I might not have that same style, they do tend to be kind of spotty, and that's not an offense to them again, but they're spot guys. But they, on top of that, they have a gimmick. And their gimmick is over. I'm sorry. Like, it just is. It's 2020, bro. They're all about 420. But you know what? That's their gimmick, and it's great. It works with everything that they are. I believe their characters. I'm like, wow, these guys really are like toking it up while they're there. It's great. And so I'm actually surprised that they would, but I'm sure they'll go somewhere.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if in like 2 weeks we see them on Dynamite or something, because they'd fit right in with that. Or hey, who knows? You know what? They could be going. I noticed a lot of tag teams have been getting released. That World Tag League that New Japan's doing.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went there, because there's been a few tag teams that got released from like different places, and I was like, why are you guys letting them go? They're gonna end up there. Like FTR. FTR's leaving AEW. They're probably going to World Tag League because they're probably gonna go to New Japan, and
it's like MLW. It's like MLW. They're always releasing talent, Like you just hear about these guys, like here's Jordan Oliver. I mean, there's a character there's a kid who's been in the business, and he should be somewhere else,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's good. Like I know a lot of people, like probably thought he wouldn't go anywhere, but he made his own niche. I worked him in a 4-on-4 tag match one time, and he's really he's smooth in the ring. He's really good.
Yeah, he actually had a good match at the Collective with Chris Dickinson, I believe, or just the last week's show at Game Changer Wrestling.
Yeah, the Collective. That was just kind of seeing clips from that. Like that show was pretty. That whole show was insane. I mean, I would have loved to have been a part of that. Hopefully in maybe next year or so, if they do that again, to do that, because it was great. What I loved was like a lot of the talent did multiple different promotions and
yeah, that's so cool. That's
show.
That's what I like. It was like a variety. You had a variety of shows. I mean, because you had your top shows that people don't really realize. These are promotions, Mid-South, like Mid-Wrestling, like all these like wrestling companies that people don't even know exist, and their top-notch talent come out of there,
Yeah, and it gets them all out there and everything. There's certain places that like certain feds that I feel that like once things sort of go back to whatever new normal we have now, I feel that like some of them would really benefit from being on there. Like there's the one that I work for in Jersey, Bree Combination Wrestling. Like the talent that's on that, like there's no reason why they could, that promotion, and the promoter, he's a great businessman, Anthony Cole, awesome businessman, awesome guy. He's always willing to work with all different kinds of promotions and make it work. So just that place alone, like there's so much. I mean, their champion Darius Carter,
Darius Carter,
dude. The guy's been around. The guy's been everywhere. The guy probably should be signed somewhere. I mean, again, why isn't he? Because he's just so different from what you usually see on TV. And that's actually a guy I'm hoping to run into in the ring and go at it at some point. But
Darius, oh, that's what we should see. Darius at a Titan event.
I'm with it. I'll welcome him. I'll be the welcome committee.
So why not?
He likes to run his mouth a lot and trash on me for being a pretty boy, but pretty boys can still beat your ass. So I'll welcome him gladly.
Yeah, but you know what? We could call it a night. I think we're done. How's that?
Good. I'm good with that. Yeah, I mean, I could keep on talking, but I feel we hit all the points.
We did. And you know what? And we'll do a follow up after. We'll do some stuff.
I'm always with it. Yeah, I'm always down to chat and talk. I'm always with it. I know some guys get a little weird when the camera's on, which is odd considering the business that we're in. But
it's always to get your name out there, and it's to have fun. That's what I love about podcasting. You know what? How long I've been doing this? 4 years. It's 4 years in, And dude, it's just fun. And the stories you get behind all the wrestlers and the, the talent and the whoever you had on. Like I've had PCO, fucking the Quebecer guy on. Come on, like I've had the Highlander, one of the Highlanders on. Like I find people, it's pretty. Dr. Schultz, Dr. D. David Schultz. Come on, like
wow. That's what I'm saying. Like it's the love of wrestling.
I've had. Well, actually, it's one of our friends. One of my friends also. We've had JJ McGuire. He's the original of all the tracks for the WWF albums with Jimmy Hart. Yeah, I know. It's like, it's like he's still doing it, and he's like the guy. He did Thunder in Paradise theme. Like that's badass. Come on.
Oh,
nobody.
He did Thunder in Paradise, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. They paid him to stay on the set. Man. They paid him to stay. Bought his clothes at Walmart. It was great.
Bought his clothes. It's awesome. That's so cool.
It is. Maybe I'll get him on here. Ooh. See, I need to bring other wrestlers with guests, different people in, which is cool.
Yeah.
You mix it up, But yeah, we'll do something after the week. I see you this weekend,
All right, dude, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see you at the show.
Let's close this by going like this. Bam! There you go. There's all your social media. Check out Recon for all your social media needs. See
that. Follow it, like it, the whole spiel. Go through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, that's much appreciated, man. We live and die by social media now.
You know what? This technology is so easy for me. It's like there's so many programs that do this, like social media. They got like OBS and this and that. But this program I found, 10 minutes, I'm done. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I'm looking into stuff like that to like streamline like what I do and content and put stuff out there.
Dude,
again,
I'll tell you what. I could help you along with this. Is so freaking easy. A child could do it. Dude, I pay $200 for a service, and they just do. It's like you click right onto Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, but YouTube doesn't work.
That's awesome.
YouTube doesn't work all the time, but I upload it after, which I will tonight.
YouTube is a bit of pain in the ass. It's like they hate wrestling. They always want to shut it down and not show it. It's like don't hashtag wrestling. And YouTube, they'll just kind of bury it under everything.
Right. But when I put clips of you up, they'll be like, all right, awesome.
Right.
Which is awesome. Rick, I want to say thank you for coming on, man. And I will see you this weekend.
Problem, thank you. All right. I'll be there kicking ass, man. Good to help see you.
Yes. Maybe I'll be the guy that drops that 100 on the ground, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you, man. I'll slip you 100 too for that.
Yeah. But it's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be awesome, and you're determined and you're thirsty, like we said. It's gonna be a great night. And have a good night. Let's call it a night.
All right,
done.
You too, man. You have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.
Bye, fans. That was awesome. What a great interview that was with Rick Recon. He's entering the Rumble, Titan Championship Rumble this weekend and Saturday afternoon. And we're ready to see him in action. He's going to take out everybody one by one. He wants to go to the very end to get that championship at Titan. And fans, if you're in Jackson, New Jersey, get down to the Firehouse and check it out. Titan Championship Wrestling presents Mount Olympus, the final Mount Olympus Rumble, the final show of the years to close out the season. Till 2021, we're back in business, wrestling again. We'll be alive and well with lots of stuff on the rise, lots of good stuff on the shows as well. Fans, I'm done. What do I got coming up? Well, fans, I got to put it out there, post it tomorrow. I'm gonna have professional wrestler Mr. Wright and the Queen of Hearts, Miss Wright, his valet. We're gonna be talking to her. him and her at the same time and see what they're all about, see what's going on with them in the wrestling world, and much, much more, fans. That's it. Tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Good night, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast.
You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: DeathmatchRussell.com, follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, Facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32.
Instagram at DavidNJ36.
Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level, a symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code Deathmatch Russell Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. Me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at Podcast City Net. You can hear Deathmatch Russell Podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.